My friends, I've come here today not to flatter you, not to entertain you, but to stir something inside of you, to awaken that still, small voice you've ignored for far too long. Because if you don't believe in yourself, hear me now, no one else will. From the beginning of time, God breathed into man the breath of life, not the breath of doubt, not the breath of fear. You were not created to walk in the shadows of someone else's approval. You were made in the image of greatness. But oh, how quickly we forget. We wait for applause before we move. We wait for permission to drink. We wait for someone, anyone, to tell us we're enough. But hear this, if the fire within you depends on the wind around you, you'll never burn bright. There will come a time when the voices around you grow silent, when the people you thought would support you are nowhere to be found, when the world tells you you can't. And it is in that moment, yes, that moment, that belief must rise from within, not in arrogance, not in pride, but in purpose. You see, belief isn't just self-confidence, it's spiritual confidence. It's knowing you were designed for something greater than what the world has to offer. It's walking by faith, not by sight, even when sight shows you nothing but storm. There will be setbacks. Oh yes, you fall, you fail, but failure is not the end. Failure is the test that reveals what you really believe about yourself. Will you let it break you, or will you rise? Don't you dare compare your path to another's. Don't you dare look at someone else's chapter 20 while you're still on chapter 2. Every giant started as a shepherd boy. Every light once flickered before it blazed. You don't need the crowd to cheer before you take the first step. You need to speak life over yourself. You need to pray with fire. You need to stand, even when your knees are shaking, and say, I may not see the way yet, but I believe. I believe in who God made me to be. Because belief, real belief, is the foundation of destiny. So today I challenge you, look in the mirror, not with doubt, but with divine confidence, and say, I believe in me, because the one who made me doesn't make mistakes. The world may not see it now, but one day they will. And when they ask how you made it, you'll smile and say, I believed when no one else did. The power within you is not something you earn. It's something you were born with. It was placed in you before the foundations of the earth were laid, before anyone gave you a title, before anyone knew your name, before you had achievements to show or mistakes to regret. It was already there, that spark, that purpose. But the tragedy is most people never discover it. They search for strength in the outside world, in relationships, in titles, in money, in applause. They chase after confirmation from others, not realizing that everything they're looking for is already living inside of them, quietly waiting to be awakened. You don't need someone to hand you power. You need to recognize it's already in your hand. You see, the world is loud. It'll tell you who you should be, what success looks like, what makes someone valuable, and if you're not careful, you'll begin to believe that your worth is something that needs to be proven, something you have to hustle for. But true power isn't loud. It doesn't show off. It doesn't need approval. It's steady. It's deep. It's a knowing in your spirit that no matter what's happening around you, you are not empty. You are equipped. This power doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It doesn't mean you won't fall. But it means that even when you fall, you rise. Even when you're afraid, you move forward anyway. It's the quiet strength that tells you to keep going when nobody claps for you. It's what keeps your soul alive when your surroundings are cold. It's not ego, it's essence. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. So don't go searching for what's already yours. You don't need to find it. You need to uncover it. Peel back the layers of doubt, shame, insecurity, comparison. Beneath all that noise is power, real, divine, undeniable power, the kind that can't be shaken by opinions or destroyed by setbacks, the kind that was written into your DNA by the one who made you. That power is in you, always has been. It's just waiting for you to believe it. Loneliness is not a punishment. It's a passage. It's a part of the process that no one wants, but everyone who's ever done anything meaningful has had to walk through. When you begin to believe in yourself, when you choose to live by purpose instead of popularity, you'll notice something. People start to fade. The crowd gets quieter. The support you thought would always be there suddenly feels distant. But that silence isn't a sign you're doing something wrong. It's often confirmation that you're finally walking the right path. Growth separates. Vision isolates. And faith, real faith, will sometimes feel like a road with no signs and no company. But hear this, that's where the foundation is laid. That's where belief is built, not in the noise of the crowd, but in the stillness of solitude. When you're alone, you come face to face with yourself, your doubts, your fears, your hopes, your calling. And that's where the real work begins. Not when everyone's watching, but when no one is. In loneliness, you learn to be your own encourager, your own motivator, your own believer. You stop depending on applause and start building from within. It's in those quiet hours that confidence becomes more than just a word. It becomes a necessity, because there's no one left to clap for you, so you learn to clap for yourself. You learn to move forward without a cheering section, to stand strong without someone holding your hand. And sometimes people won't understand your journey. They'll question your direction, your decisions, your dreams, not because they're cruel, but because it's not their vision. It was never given to them. It was given to you. And that means sometimes you have to walk alone with it. That kind of loneliness, it's sacred. It's where clarity is born. It's where you learn that belief isn't about everyone else seeing it. It's about you seeing it, even when no one else does. So if you're in a season where you feel alone, don't curse it, embrace it, because it's shaping you. It's stripping away distractions and teaching you how to hear your own voice, trust your own steps, and rely on something deeper than approval. It's not the end of the road. It's the beginning of becoming everything you were meant to be. When you believe in yourself, you're not just having confidence in your abilities, you're honoring the very reason you were created. Faith in yourself is not ego, it's alignment. It's saying, I trust the work that was done in me before I even took my first breath. When you believe in yourself, you are agreeing with your purpose. You're saying yes to what was planted in you, even if you don't fully see how it's going to grow yet. Purpose is never random. It's intentional, it's crafted, it's designed with detail. So when you doubt yourself, you're not just doubting your skills, you're doubting the intention behind your life. That's why belief isn't just a mindset, it's a responsibility. You were given something to carry, something to build, something to bring into this world. And if you don't believe you're capable of it, you won't move toward it. That's what makes this so serious. Your self-belief isn't just about you, it's connected to something greater. There are people you're meant to impact. There are lives that will be changed because you said yes to the gift inside you. But that won't happen if you keep waiting for someone else to believe in you first. Purpose doesn't wait for permission, it waits for commitment. And commitment starts when you look in the mirror and say, I might not have it all figured out, but I trust that I'm not here by accident. That's faith. That's what moves you forward when the path doesn't make sense. That's what gets you back up after the failure. Because when you believe in your purpose, you know the struggle is part of the story, not the end of it. You don't have to see every step to take the first one. You don't have to have the approval of the world to start walking in what you were called to do. But you do need belief. Belief that you are equipped. Belief that your presence matters. Belief that your life carries weight. And when you live from that place, when you carry that kind of faith in yourself, you don't just survive, you fulfill. You become, you rise into the purpose you were always meant to live. The world won't always see it, and that's okay. They won't always understand your vision, your passion, your calling. They might question your choices, laugh at your dreams, or doubt your ability, not because they're right, but because it wasn't given to them. What's burning inside you is yours, not theirs. And when something is born in your spirit, it doesn't need the world's validation to be real. People often only recognize greatness after it's succeeded. They celebrate results, not the process. They weren't there when you were struggling in silence. They didn't see the nights you stayed up wrestling with your doubts. They weren't around when you kept showing up, even when nothing seemed to be working. So don't expect them to always understand what drives you. And don't let their lack of recognition make you second-guess what you know deep down is real. There's a reason the seed goes underground before it breaks through the surface. Growth is hidden before it's seen. That quiet, invisible season, that's where your roots are built. That's where your strength is formed. And sometimes the very people you expect to support you will be the ones who question you the most. Not because they mean harm, but because they haven't caught the vision. But vision isn't meant to be explained to everyone. It's meant to be carried by you. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be faithful to what was placed inside you. And faithfulness doesn't require fans, it requires focus. So when the world doesn't see your value, when they overlook your efforts or underestimate your journey, don't shrink, don't stop. Don't trade your purpose for their approval. Keep building, keep believing, because the day will come when the very thing they ignored will be the thing they admire. But by then you'll know you didn't need them to see it. You only needed the courage to believe it yourself. Failure is not the end of the road. It is the proving ground for your belief. It's easy to believe in yourself when everything is going well, when the doors are opening, when the applause is loud. But true belief is tested when the winds of life blow against you, when the mountains seem too high to climb, and when the world tells you it's over. Failure is not a setback, it's a challenge to your faith. It asks, do you really believe what you say you believe, even when things don't go as planned? In those moments of failure, your belief is being refined, it's being stretched, it's being purified. Every mistake, every misstep, every disappointment is an opportunity for you to choose faith over fear. It's in the moments of struggle that you see what you're really made of. Not when things are easy, but when things are hard. Belief isn't about never falling. It's about what you do when you fall. It's about getting back up. It's about refusing to let a setback define you. It's about looking at failure and saying, this doesn't get to determine who I am or what I'm capable of. Failure is also a teacher. It shows you where you need to grow, what you need to learn, and where your weaknesses lie. It forces you to face yourself and ask, what am I truly willing to fight for? It exposes the areas where you need more patience, more endurance, more wisdom. But it also reveals the strength you didn't know you had. It builds resilience. And resilience isn't about avoiding failure, it's about bouncing back stronger each time you fall. The more you rise, the more you prove that failure is not your final destination. It's a detour on the way to your destiny. So when you fail, and you will, because failure is a part of every journey, don't be discouraged. Don't let it convince you that you're not capable or that your dream is too big. Instead, see it for what it is, a moment of testing, a moment that is calling you to stand firm in what you believe. Because when you can believe in yourself after a failure, when you can stand tall after the storm, you are showing the world the depth of your faith. You are proving that nothing can stop you, not failure, not doubt, not fear, nothing. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about how you respond to it, how you choose to let it shape you, mold you, and build your belief to a place where it can't be shaken. Because the truth is, failure isn't a measure of your worth, it's a measure of your faith in the journey and the purpose that lies ahead. And the deeper your belief, the more you realize that failure is simply the soil from which success grows. Comparison is a thief. It robs you of your peace, your focus, and most dangerously, your confidence. When you compare your journey to someone else's, you are stepping off the path that was uniquely designed for you and into a race that wasn't meant for you. The world is full of distractions, shiny images, highlight reels, success stories that seem effortless. But you can't measure your worth by someone else's timeline or someone else's definition of success. Comparison blinds you to your own progress, making you believe that where you are isn't good enough, that you're not enough simply because someone else seems to be ahead. But the truth is, you don't know what that other person has walked through to get to where they are. You don't see the sacrifices, the late nights, the battles fought behind closed doors. You're only seeing the end result, not the story behind it. And when you compare your raw, unfinished journey to someone else's polished, edited version, you will always feel inadequate. You'll always feel behind. But here's the reality. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. And the more you compare, the more you lose sight of that. Confidence isn't found in someone else's achievements. It's found in knowing your own worth. It's found in understanding that your story is unique, that your path is different but no less valuable. Every step you take is part of your personal growth. Every mistake, every triumph, every twist and turn shapes you into the person you are becoming. And that's something to be proud of. You may not be where someone else is, but that doesn't make you less. It just makes you different. You have a calling, a purpose, and a path that is yours and yours alone. And when you begin to walk that path with confidence, with the understanding that it's not about where anyone else is, but about where you are headed, you'll begin to feel a peace that comparison can never bring. When you stop looking to the left and the right and start looking inward, you'll discover that the power to move forward, to grow, and to succeed was always inside you. The enemy of confidence isn't your failures or your struggles, it's comparison. So stop measuring your life by someone else's standard. Stop judging your progress by someone else's timeline. Embrace your own journey. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and that every step you take is part of a greater story. Confidence is born when you stop looking at others and start believing in yourself. You are enough. You are on your own path, and that's all that matters. The words you speak over yourself hold incredible power. Too often we are quick to speak negativity, doubt, and fear into our own lives. We tell ourselves we're not good enough, not capable enough, not worthy enough. We repeat the lies that others have said about us or the doubts we've carried for years. But we must understand that what we speak becomes the lens through which we see the world, and what we believe about ourselves shapes everything we do. If we speak life over ourselves, we create a life that reflects hope, strength, and possibility. Your voice has the power to breathe life into your dreams, your goals, your future. The words you speak over yourself are not just fleeting thoughts, they are declarations. When you speak words of affirmation and encouragement, when you remind yourself of your worth and your potential, you align your spirit with your purpose. You begin to believe that you can rise above any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and achieve any goal. The truth is, your thoughts are constantly flowing into words, and your words are constantly flowing into your reality. When you speak life, you are choosing to honor your potential rather than your limitations. You are saying, I am capable, I am worthy of the life I dream of. I am strong enough to face the battles ahead. These words are not mere affirmations, they are declarations of faith. It's not just about feeling good in the moment, it's about establishing the foundation for a life of growth and transformation. Each time you speak words of encouragement to yourself, you are telling your heart and mind that you believe in your ability to change, to grow, to rise. But it's not just about saying positive things, it's about saying the right things. It's about aligning your words with your purpose. It's about reminding yourself that your dreams are not too big, your goals are not out of reach, and your failures do not define you. Speak against the doubts, the fears, and the insecurities that try to cloud your vision. When you speak life, you are not denying the challenges you face. You are choosing to believe that you are capable of overcoming them. You need to remind yourself that you were made for greatness, that your story is far from over. Speak over your life the truth that you are more than enough, that you are equipped for every season, that you have everything inside of you to accomplish what you are called to do. Stop waiting for others to speak words of encouragement into your life and begin to speak them over yourself. Because when you believe in the power of your words, you begin to see the power of your life unfold in ways you never thought possible. Your words are seeds, and the more you plant seeds of encouragement, strength, and purpose, the more they will grow into a harvest of confidence, resilience, and success. Speak life over yourself every single day. And when the storms come, when the world tries to shake your belief, your words will be the anchor that keeps you grounded in the truth of who you are and what you're capable of. Every giant, every great achievement, every movement that has impacted the world started small. Before they were giants, they were seeds, hidden away, barely noticed, and underestimated by most. Every leader, every innovator, every trailblazer had humble beginnings. They didn't start with fame or fortune. They didn't start with everything figured out. They started with a vision, a spark, and often very little else. What set them apart wasn't their immediate success. It was their persistence, their belief that something small could grow into something powerful, something world-changing. The journey to greatness isn't instantaneous. It's not about the grand beginnings or the big splash at the start. It's about the quiet, often overlooked steps taken when no one is watching. It's about showing up day after day, even when the results are invisible. You might start as a small idea, a single person, or a modest resource, but within you lies the potential for something far bigger. And the key to unlocking that potential is the faith to keep going when no one else sees what you see, when no one else believes what you believe. Think about the most powerful trees in the world. They all started as tiny seeds. The tallest mountains were once just pebbles on the ground, waiting for time to shape them. Every dream, every vision, every aspiration starts small in a place where only you can see it. But it is in that smallness that the greatest strength is built. You learn how to grow, how to stretch, how to reach for the light. You develop resilience in the quiet, unseen moments. You build the foundation of your future success in the smallest of efforts. And when the time comes for you to stand tall, when your moment arrives, the world will see what you've been quietly working on all along. The giants you admire today weren't always giants. They faced the same struggles, the same doubts, and the same fears that you do now. They had to fight the urge to quit when things got tough. They had to push through the failures, the criticisms, and the moments when they felt small. But they kept going. And over time, their small steps turned into something extraordinary. They didn't let the size of their beginnings define their future. They let their faith in the process and their determination shape the path. So if you feel small right now, if your dreams feel distant, if your steps feel insignificant, don't despair. Every giant started small. Your small beginnings are not a reflection of your potential, but a part of the journey. Stay faithful, stay focused, and watch as your small efforts begin to take root, grow, and eventually rise into something far greater than you could ever imagine. Greatness isn't defined by where you start, but by how you grow. Doubt is the loudest voice you'll hear on the road to your dreams. It comes from within and from the world around you. It whispers, sometimes even shouts, that you're not enough, that the task is too big, that you'll never make it. It will try to tell you all the reasons you can't succeed, why your vision is too unrealistic, why others are more equipped, more talented, more deserving. But here's the truth. Doubt is a liar. It's the enemy of progress and the thief of possibility. Its only power comes from the attention you give it. When you let doubt dictate your decisions, you allow it to control your path. But you have another choice. You can silence the doubt, not by arguing with it, not by trying to prove it wrong, but by simply refusing to let it dominate your mind. When doubt comes knocking, you don't have to open the door. Instead, you have the power to close it and turn your attention to something greater, the truth of who you are and the truth of what you're capable of. The truth is that you have everything inside you to succeed, that you are already equipped with what you need, that the power of belief is far stronger than the power of doubt. Silencing doubt doesn't mean pretending it's not there. It doesn't mean ignoring your fears or dismissing your insecurities. It means choosing not to let them dictate your actions. It means recognizing that doubt is just a voice, and that voice does not get to decide your future. The moment you choose to believe in yourself, to focus on the possibilities instead of the limitations, to see your potential rather than your shortcomings, that is when faith begins to grow. Feeding your faith is the most powerful thing you can do. Faith is not a feeling, it's a choice. It's the conscious decision to believe, even when you can't see the way ahead. Faith is the voice that tells you to keep going, even when every part of you wants to quit. Faith is what strengthens you when you feel weak. It's what keeps you moving when the road is unclear, when the world doesn't seem to support your vision. Faith is the fuel that keeps your fire burning even in the darkest of time. But faith needs to be fed. It grows stronger with every affirmation, every moment you choose to believe over fear, every time you step out of your comfort zone, every time you take action despite the uncertainty. You feed your faith by choosing to surround yourself with positivity, with words of encouragement, with people who believe in your potential. You feed your faith by looking back at how far you've come instead of how far you still have to go. You feed your faith by reminding yourself that everything you've been through has prepared you for where you are now. You feed your faith by focusing on the vision, not the obstacles. As you silence the doubt and feed the faith, you begin to change. You begin to shift your mindset from I can't to I can, from it's impossible to it's possible. You start to walk in your power, trusting that the path will unfold as you take each step. And when doubt tries to rise up again, you won't be moved. You'll have built a foundation so strong in faith that no amount of uncertainty or fear will shake you. The more you silence the doubt, the louder your faith will become, and it will carry you further than you ever thought possible. Destiny is not a quiet, passive thing. It doesn't wait for you to stumble upon it by accident. It requires boldness and unshakable courage to step into the unknown, to take risks, to go where others might not dare to follow. The path to your purpose is not for the timid. It's for those who are willing to trust themselves, trust the process, and trust that they were made for something greater than what their eyes can immediately see. Destiny demands that you act, that you step outside of your comfort zone, that you make choices that others might not understand, but that resonate deeply within your spirit. Boldness is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. Every person who has achieved something meaningful, who has lived a life of impact, has had to face their fears. But they didn't let those fears paralyze them. They took action anyway. Boldness doesn't mean you have all the answers or that you're guaranteed success. It means you trust enough in your potential, in your vision, and in your calling that you are willing to move forward with faith even when the road is unclear. When you stand at the edge of your destiny, it will feel like a leap into the unknown. You won't always know where the next step will lead, and that's okay. It's part of the process. Boldness doesn't require a map. It requires faith in yourself and in the path ahead. It requires the strength to take the first step even when the whole journey isn't visible. Boldness is the willingness to embrace the uncertainty, knowing that each action you take is a part of something bigger, something that's unfolding piece by piece. There will be people who try to hold you back, who will tell you it's too risky, that you're too young, too inexperienced, too unqualified. But destiny doesn't care about the doubts of others. It only cares about the heart that is willing to push past them and move forward. If you wait for perfect conditions, if you wait for the approval of everyone around you, if you wait for fear to completely disappear before you act, you will wait forever. Boldness doesn't wait for everything to align. It moves in spite of the obstacle. And it's not just about taking big leaps. It's about the small, courageous choices that lead you to the bigger ones. Boldness shows up every day. It's in the decision to keep going when you feel like giving up. It's in speaking your truth even when it feels uncomfortable. It's in taking on the challenges that scare you the most, knowing that each one will shape you into who you're meant to be. Each bold step builds momentum. And soon, you'll find that your destiny is no longer something far off in the distance, but something you are actively creating with every courageous choice you make. Your destiny is calling you, but it won't follow you where you're comfortable. It won't meet you in the safe, familiar places. It requires boldness. The kind of boldness that breaks barriers, challenges norms, and dares to dream bigger than what the world tells you is possible. If you want to live a life that truly matters, a life that leaves a legacy, you must choose boldness. Because destiny doesn't happen by waiting, it happens by stepping out, by taking risks, and by daring to live the life you were always meant to live. So let me leave you with this. Your destiny is not some distant dream, waiting for the perfect moment to unfold. It's in every decision you make, in every bold step you take, in every time you push past the doubts and fears that try to hold you back. Boldness is not just about the big moments. It's about showing up, standing firm, and trusting that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Every challenge you face is a chance to grow. Every setback is an opportunity to rise. And every fear you confront brings you closer to the life you were made to live. Your destiny is calling you not to be comfortable, not to follow the crowd, but to rise up, to lead, to make an impact, and to live with purpose. The road won't always be easy, but the rewards will be greater than anything you could have expected. So dare to be bold, step into your greatness, step into your purpose, and step into your destiny. You have everything inside you to make it happen. The only thing left to do now is to believe in it, trust in it, and take the first step. Your future is waiting. Go claim it.